जी सर स्टार्ट.
Okay, so our today topic is related to the payroll, and today we will start from the basic to create a payroll description. Uh, for every organization, definitely once the HR module is completed, all the employees' data is created, uploaded, hired, all these kind of things is finalized, then definitely we have to run the payroll for the organization. So we have a menu which called by the name of payroll, and here you can see the description functionality. Other functionalities are also there, but time to time once we will go there, we will discuss that. So let us create a first a payroll name. For example, in one organization, we have two types of payroll. Okay. One payroll we run for the managerial level. Okay. And one payroll we want to run for the workers.
Worker. Okay.
Okay. So, for example, we want to separate that payroll. How we can do it? We have to create the payroll names first, and in the payroll description screen, we will definitely let me go through. Once that screen will open, I will tell you about different functionalities over there. Okay, once that payroll description screen opened there, uh, number one thing you can see here, currently you are able to see all the menus under super user.
Okay. Super
So
easy.
if we have a payroll manager or payroll executive, then we will define this menu under his responsibility. Then he can go from there. So that you have to be keeping in mind that this is basically what we are using the super user responsibility,
Hmm.
and based on that all the menus and all those functionalities are coming under this super user
Please
responsibility, because
respond.
these kind of responsibilities basically attached to the specialist or implementation consultants, or application implementation consultants, and for the HR director, because they are the people who can want to see all those things. So this is basically our payroll screen where we can see our payroll. Let me click on help and let us go through with the point by point and field by field information. So we will be in a good position to understand each and everything. Let us see that we are defining a new payroll. First of all, as you know, we have to define the effective date. And what is the effective date? You know that when we are going to define any payroll, you see here, now it is showing the date of 9th April. So I want to create a payroll name with effect from 1st January 2021. Okay.
Okay.
So this is my basically the payroll date. It's again depends on the organization when they want to set up those things and when we are doing all those kind of things over there. So let us, this was our first step, uh, which we already doing from HR core setup. Enter the payroll name and select its period type from the list. Okay, let me go there. Enter the end date of the payroll first period and the number of years for which the system should initially generate the payrolls calendar. So in this basically, when we are creating a payroll name, we want to mention that for how many years this payroll is going to be run. For example, we create the payroll from 1st January 2021. And if I'm going to enter the year, I'm going to enter the number over there. For example, I enter 10 or 20. So it will be generate the payroll till 20 years. Once we will do that, you will get an idea. Okay, be aware that some processes require the calendar to extend the future. Leave this thing when you enter period. Leave this thing and in the date offset region. This is a very little bit important part. Uh, Basically, in the date offset region, you can change the zero default to a negative or positive number of days before or after a period and date. For example, for a semi-monthly payroll, the cutoff date can be 3 days. Now, 3 days is what? 3 days is period and date. Means our, as described in our initial sessions, that whenever we are running the payroll, we have to define the cutoff date. Okay. So that is basically now the cutoff date is here. So 3 days is basically if we are standing right in April and to run the payroll for the month of April. So the cutoff date 3 is means 27 April.
Yes.
You get my point?
Yes.
Means 30th is the last day of the month. But if I'm setting here 3 days, means 27 will be the cutoff date. Okay. The before the period and date. -3, while the scheduled run and check dates can be 5 and 7 days after this date respectively. So it is all depends whenever you want or organization want to do setup based on these dates. Once we will do it, you will get an idea. You can also set the pay slip offset because when we are running the payroll, we have to reconcile the payroll, and definitely we run the payroll, for example, at 27, 28 is our reconciliation time, and on 28 or 29th we want to run the pay slips. You get my point?
Yes.
Because we want to display the salaries to the employees. Why should we want to send them through email? That is that process can be done, but we want to show, send, run the process. Basically, we have, there is a standard process. We have to run the archive process. We have to run the pay slip process. Once the payroll is completed and reconciled, then we have to run the pay slip now, because even the payroll is not completed and it's not reconciled, so we don't want to run the pay slip. Otherwise, the values will come wrong, will go wrong to few employees, for example, which we discussed just earlier. So based on that, this is the whole topic. Let me go in to the screen and let me create a payroll name like CCL, okay, corporate payroll. Okay, with the name of corporate, you can mention any name. First of all, okay, it's all depends on your idea, or it's all depends on the basically scenario which you discuss with the business, and based on that you said, okay, if this is the management payroll, as I discussed earlier, that we will create 2 payrolls, so you will get more better idea. So once we will create 2 payrolls, means one payroll we are creating for the management, and in that payroll only the management employees can be assigned, okay, and other will be the worker payroll. So all the workers and staff payroll also can be there. Workers are basically those, for example, those employees who works in factory area, who do get on overtime, all kind of things. So those are basically called workers here. Even in a whole Oracle application, we called employee a worker. You will get you will heard this term automatically when we go further. So for example, now I'm creating this one payroll, and now I select the name, which is CCR corporate payroll, and in the period type. So basically in the period type, this is basically the, you can say, the calendar month. Okay. Currently, it is only showing one, but basically there are different types. Let us see the different type. Maybe it will show here. I have doubt about it. As you see here that it's mentioned semi-monthly payroll. Okay.
Okay.
So monthly payroll is something like that, that we are going to run the whole month payroll. Semi-monthly, that in a month we will run 2 times. Quarter हो गया ना semi monthly. ठीक है, तो means from 1st April to 15th April, and from 16th April to 30th April. So that will be called as semi monthly payroll. ठीक है, so this kind of basically things is going to be used. I will try to show you other types as well, but currently it is showing this type. Okay, now you can see here the first period and date automatically is appear. You see here?
Yes, sir.
The 31st Jan 2021 automatically appears, because when we are creating a monthly payroll, because it's type selected monthly, based on that it automatically picks the end date of the month from our start date.
Start date, yes.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, from the start date. For example, if we select here 1st February, na, it will show here
28
automatically 20 Feb, 28 Feb. So the next field is, you can see number of years. So from here, January 2021, if I will select here 10, okay, and I will save, once I will save now, save this payroll name, what will happen? Means 2031.
31, yes.
Till 2031, this payroll periods will create it. Okay, these period dates which you can see here. Okay, once we will save, then you will see. For example, now I'm creating for 10 years maximum. Okay, and we can change it. That is sure. For example, 2031 will come, and then you they want to extend the payroll definitely on 31 February. They want to run the payroll, but that payroll period will not appearing to them. So that will be the reason that we can increase it. We can make it 20 on that stage. So again, from 2031 till 2051 periods will create it. Okay. So it is generated based on the time. So sir, that is basically the G.
Sir, after 10 years, payroll will not run.
Yeah, definitely payroll will not run, but we can come here and then we change it into 20, for example.
Okay.
Then again from 2031, that 20 years period again created.
Okay, sir.
And then those periods dates will appear automatically on that time. We can make it 30 here as well. That is not going to affect us. But I'm just going to tell you, to give you an example so you get an idea. For example, now if I mentioned here 30, so what will happen? The period dates will create automatically till 31st Jan 2051. Almost periods will create. Yes. So it will create it, no issue. We can create it. Okay, but I'm just giving you an example for some how you will get an idea, know that is this period year can be changed or not. Okay, so you can get an idea. Date of set is basically, this is the pay date. As we the pay date is basically the payment date, prepayment date. This is the cutoff date. Here basically it is mentioned 0. So what we will do, we will mention 5. You will see the difference. Now once I will do it, now you will see the difference. So pay date means pay slip date, you can say. We will mention here, for example, 3. Okay. Direct deposit is basically when we are creating a payroll, we are basically going to create the payment method as well. And in the payment method, we have 3 types of payments. One is cash, one is check, and one is direct deposit. Okay. So when we will create the payment method. The direct deposit is basically the payment method which attached with the payment method, and payment method will attach with the employee, and all the employees have a bank accounts individually. So we are basically transferring their amount salary to their bank accounts. Okay, so if we want to do it, we want on which date we want to do it. Okay, we said okay, two. Okay, and the pay advice is also the same thing, which basically conciled the payment, and based on that it will process. So major 3 points are major point is cutoff date. Number one. Okay. So here once we will create it now, I will show you in the pay period date, and you will get a very clear picture on that. Okay, so in the consolidation set, once we basically create a BG, business group, automatically a pay consolidation set automatically created. Okay, so as you see here, because we, as you know, we add the security profile, and based on we are working on a Vision UAE, that's why the Vision UAE business group, once that was created, okay, the consolidation set automatically created. Okay, so that is the by default functionality. Once we do it, so far we didn't created any payment method, but once we will create it, we will come here later, and we can select them over here. So far it is already created based on this vision, but I am giving you a complete overview from the initial setups scenario. Okay, now for example, I created this. The costing is related, that the costing allocation key flex field, whatever the costing allocation flex field is there, we will select here, and this is basically a same costing allocation flex field segment, which is means enabled, and I will show you once I will create the payroll. I will show you that how we can enable it, how can we do it. Suspense account is basically when we will do that costing now, and sometimes that cost account is not hit. It can be hit to the suspense account. So suspense account is also is a account which we pick from finance accounting flex field. Okay. Here the check is negative payment allowed, means when we are running the payroll, the negative payment can be allowed, and all kind of payments can be paid negatively. Some organization, but it is not be you can say the case in organization, that we are not going to transfer any negative salary. No? We are not going to do that kind of things or any negative payment. So that check is basically always unchecked. Okay. So what we will do now, we will save the record. Once we save the record, you will see that the period dates will also see. Now the payroll is created. Okay. And based on that, now when I click on period dates, you will see here. So this is basically the period date, period month. This is the month basically when we have to select it, and based on that we have to run the payroll. Whenever when in coming sessions, you will automatically get an idea. So you can see here that this period date is 2. Okay, this is 3, this is 4, this is means you can say April, May, sorry. So this is the period date it's created, because we created, yeah.
It means we have scheduled the whole year payroll.
Yeah. Because why it is scheduled? Because we mentioned here 30
years, yes.
Yeah. So now I'm going to show you here. So for example, if we will go into, you see here, 2023
Yes.
is also coming,
20.
2024, 20. So all that it will create it till 2020, 2050. You will scroll down, it automatically comes in. So based on that, you can see here, now those three dates sections, which you see here, 3, 2, and 5. Now these are the basically 2 dates when we are going to pay. For example, this is the month of May, and you run, yeah, and we want to pay on basically this is a payroll for the April, and we will going to pay on 3 May.
3 May, yes.
Direct deposit process will run on 2nd May. Okay, and pay advice will be the 30th April. Okay, and the payroll cutoff date will be 5 May, because it is basically in advance going on. That's why it is showing this date. But let me correct the okay, let us create a new payroll as well, the staff one. For example, now I will create the payroll for the, you can say, for workers. Then we will see the difference. Here's the payment method. The payment method is basically the same which I described you, that we want to set a payment method default for the payroll, for every payroll. So for example, we are selecting the cash payment method for this payroll. Okay, but we can change this within the employee, because when we are creating the payment method for every for attaching the payment method with the employee, from there it will be checked that we are running the payroll on which process. Okay, that I will describe you over there. This is one payroll which we created. Okay, now let us create the second payroll, so you will get more hands-on practice. Let us now select the date, 31st December 2020. Okay, 31st December. Let me check this, and let me run CCL worker payroll. 31. Okay, and based on that, for example, let me create it for 5. Let me create it cutoff date 5. Let me select the consolidation set as we did, and let me click on period dates. I think it will not, yeah, it will say first you have to save the record. Let me save it. Basically, I want to show you one thing. Yeah, this one. Now you can see we basically create the payroll with effect from 31st December 2020, and based on that, now our period is coming correct. In previous payroll, we did some mistake. We entered the effective date wrongly. We entered the 1st January, and based on that, January was showing February, and February was showing April. So based on that, now all these periods are showing correct. See, pay now, because so far we didn't set any pay, any other things, but here you can see the cutoff date will be okay. It is because we mentioned here 5 in 5 in a plus sign. Okay. If we have to basically show it as a negative, then it will appear. Yeah, that is another step which we missed. Let me purge it. I don't want to make it for us. Sir, and, yeah.
Sir, if we set the effective date 20th 20th day of every month, then
Huh?
if we select the effective date 25th day of every month, then might be cut off date 25th.
Yeah, that only depends on the your company yani ke policy na.
Okay.
You get my point? It's all depends on company policy. Your company payroll or finance people will select this kind of thing. But now let us create the again the first one 2020. Okay, and let me create CCL corporate payroll and the type. Now inshallah we will see exact picture. For example, now this will be our -5.
Yes.
Okay, so we have to make it -5, and here also it will be, for example, -3. Okay, here it will be -2. We just even we saw it, but we missed it. So you will see here now. See, cutout date can be
Yes,
3 days before the period,
yes.
and date here it is mentioned -3.
Yes.
But actually we just missed this step to do it. So now all these are in within the period. Now it will happen. Now you will see. Let me make it check. Let me make it the same vision one. And now let me save this payroll, and in you will see now. Now in the period dates, see January, first, second, third. Now it will, and this payroll is automatically will be generated till 30, because we see now it is not showing down. Automatically it's generated till 30. Why? Because we mentioned here 10.
10 years.
And now if we will change it 20 and save it, it will create more 10 years. Okay. So that is the thing which we discussed before. And now here you can see on the top. Now we'll run the payroll for January. What will be the pay date? 28 January. What will be the direct deposit? 29. Because based on the minus, basically we have to set. And what will be the cutoff date? 26.
Yes, excellent.
And the pay advice is basically the when we are running the pay slip process. Okay, that is the basically dates playing with the payroll when we created the corporate payroll, and same now one we will create CCL worker payroll. Let us create that one as well on the same. Let me define 5. Okay, here we will enter the same -3, -2. Okay, and I want to make it 5. Now we will see here. I want to run the pay slip when next month 2nd. Here now you will get very clear picture. See now. This I will make it check again. I will make vision, make it cancel. Let me save it. And now once I create it, now let us see the dates. 28 pay, direct deposit process will run. And on 25th February, I want to run the pay slip. You get my point? Because everybody know in most of the organization, people knows that yaar 25th, 26th, 27 is the payroll run. Aaj payroll run hona hai. So we will get inshallah the salary on 1st of February. Next month or something like that. So once people want to just curious about the salary must be processed and deposit into the bank. That is the main topic everywhere when the payroll period is come. But when employee want to see now his detail, because in the payroll, in the account, basically bank account, it will be a lump sum salary. Gross net salary is going to be transfer there. And once you will get a pay slip from an organization on request, basically, then you will get an idea that this is my earnings, and these are my deductions for this month, and this is my net salary, and this is my gross salary, and whatever there is. So based on that, all information will be automatically be displayed in the payslip, and that payslip we want to display for the employees on a monthly basis so they can see their payslip. And so you can see here that pay advice is basically the payslip process function. Okay, so this is basically the payroll screen. Now, once we created two payrolls now, for example, now let me do one thing. Let me show you how we are going to attach the corporate payroll with the employee. Now, this is another step, definitely, when we want to attach it. But we have to also be very make sure that when we are going to attach the payroll, now all the elements also need to be created for that payroll. I will show you how. For example, let us select 78. Okay, this is the person. Once I am going to attach the corporate payroll, I want to attach the corporate payroll for this employee. So how I will do it? I will come here into this screen. Okay, first of all, I will for example 1st February 2021. Okay, so I want to attach this. We are in April, we can do it on April, that is not a big issue. Sorry, first APR 2021. Okay, because keeping in mind, when we are going to change the payroll, and payroll will also change, because right now we are in the topic, we are creating a payroll, and sometimes whenever the organization, means there is a transfer case, means for example a worker become promoted and he will be now the part of the corporate in the now he's in office. Okay, so he will be now part of the corporate payroll. So that is a transfer case also. So before he was in worker payroll, now we are going to move him into the corporate, and definitely when he will move into the corporate, his designation will be changed, maybe his grade will be changed. You get my point? So based on that, all those things is going to be changed, and we will change the payroll as well. But currently what I'm going to see here, want to show you that these are the two payroll names. You see, because we created the two payroll name with the naming convention CCL. Okay, but if I want to see all payrolls, you see here 3. Okay, so let me select this, let me update it, because so far there is no update. You see here, no update there. Till from 12 January 1998, the person is still on this payroll. So once I will change the payroll, I will save it. You will see the date change here as well. This is the change effective date. You will get an idea over here as well. But what all this person elements will move, gone. I will show you also that as well. Let this process must complete first. Now you see here, your changes will affect element entries. Do you want to continue? I say yes. I'm just going to show you so you can get an idea. I say yes.
It has changed.
Now 1st April 2021 payroll has been changed. Okay, but once I will click on entries, here you will not see any element with effect from. Only the monthly salary is there. Only the monthly salary element is there, which is, this is the basic salary amount of that employee. Once we come here, I will describe you in detail. For example, now, let me click here and let me come on 1st February 2021. Okay, you will see here the thing. See the previous payroll. So you can see here the change as well. In the assignment screen, if anything is undated, means this person is have some record after this date. Okay, so this is also a very important point for you. Let us click on entries. Employee assignment is not for a current payroll period. Continue. Okay. Anyhow, so you can see here there was social insurance element was also there, but it undated automatically. It will undated automatically because this social insurance element is linked with this payroll name. I will show you that as well. You will automatically will get complete understanding and the as well. You will see here, not here. Let me come into the total compensation, basic, and into the element link, and let me open that element. See, social insurance, standard element, with whom it is linked? With this payroll. Means now I have to create a new social insurance link with whom? With other payrolls as well. And once we will do that, then this insurance element will be linked when we will attach the payroll. So basically, when we create the payroll and we are creating different elements, okay, basic, housing, transportation, how mobile allowance, all other allowances, we have to link those elements with the payroll as well. Otherwise, once we will attach the payroll, then those elements need to be linked with that employee, which I just tried to show you. And once we will go in further sessions, you will automatically get an idea.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है जी?
Okay, sir.
जी.
Sir, if an employer has 1,000 employees,
Yeah.
then we have to link payroll, all the payroll of all employees.
Yes,
With
we
them.
have to. We have to do it. See,
Okay.
this is basically initial step. This is called very initial step for every implementation process. Because see, right now we are working on an application where it is already been defined. Now think about the scenario where you went for an implementation. Okay, you defined the core HR module. You upload all the employees record. Now you are going to create an payroll, and based on that you will do all the things from start. Means you have to create the elements, you have to create the payroll name, you have to create the payment method, and then you have to link those elements in the element link screen with the category, with the criteria which they defined. You can define the elements based on job, on your organization or department or grade or other levels. But most of the time it's links with the payroll. Okay. So once we link with the payroll, definitely after that, we will upload the assignment record. We do update the assignment records for all the employees. So these are the basically steps which we have to perform, because HR core is only related to this screen, this first screen. This is the HR core section. When we are creating an HR core setup, we are doing everything for this screen. But once the assignment screen comes, means the payroll is going to become. Because this assignment screen is basically the screen where all the employee, department, job, grade, all this information will come into picture, and based on that we have to define, because on this screen there is payroll, so payroll need to be attached on that time. Na? For example, department, job, grade, these we already created in HR core, but now once we are in now a payroll side, so we will do upload the payroll name, the status assignment that I will describe you, the supervisor, the salary information, all this information we have to create and upload through API in the system.
Okay,
which is
sir.
going to be done by the technical teams, consultants with our coordination. No? So this is the whole thing for the payroll. So today we just define two payrolls. Tomorrow we will define the payment method, and we will discuss about detail about the payment method and how we will create the payment method, how we will attach the payment method. That we inshallah do tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Great, sir.
Chalo. Thank you very much for the today's session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, ji. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.